One day, Lily saw her dad fumbling with a few small coins in his pocket, his face etched with worry. A daughter's intuition told her that her dad was having money troubles. Without a word, Lily quietly went to her room, a grand plan forming in her young mind. She remembered the times she had gone with her dad to pick chayote and sell it at the market. That's right, I can be a businesswoman too, she thought. A bold decision was made. Lily opened her wardrobe, her eyes scanning over the pretty outfits that had become a little too small. Gently and carefully, she folded each shirt and dress into a large basket. These weren't just old clothes. They were memories, but she knew that helping her dad now was more important. To make her store look more professional, Lily found an old piece of cardboard and neatly wrote the words "Sale 50% in large clear letters. She placed the sign in the basket, and with that, her secret business project was officially launched. Lily tiptoed out of the house with her basket of goods, trying not to let her dad notice. Wandering along the familiar village path, Lily found a busy spot to set up her stall. She placed the basket down, propped up the sign where it was most visible, and called out to people in a clear voice.
Ly ơi, ra ăn sáng này con. Đi đâu thế? Ly ơi, Ly. Ly ơi, đi đâu ạ?
Before long, a customer stopped. It was a young man who smiled kindly when he saw the little owner so seriously conducting her business. He looked through each item carefully. "Your clothes are still so new and beautiful," he praised. Perhaps moved by Lily's cleverness and devotion, he made a decision. "I'll buy all of this. Is $10 okay?" Lily's eyes lit up. $10. That was much more than she could have imagined. She happily agreed, took the money from the kind customer, and thanked him politely. Her first venture was a success beyond her wildest dreams. Lily hugged the money she had earned and ran straight home. As she reached the door, she could smell delicious food. Her dad had finished cooking lunch and was waiting for her.
Dad.
"Where did you get this money?" her dad asked in surprise as Lily held out the bill. As his little daughter chattered on, telling him the whole story, from seeing his worry to the idea of selling her old clothes and the lucky sale, her dad couldn't hold back his tears. He pulled his little girl into a tight hug. In her dad's arms, Lily felt his emotion, his gratitude, and even a little bit of guilt. He thanked her for always thinking of him and apologized for letting her carry such worries. I promise, I'll buy you lots of new, beautiful clothes very soon, he said, his voice choked with emotion.
Để con đu đủ ha, được chưa? Thôi bạn làm đồ ăn sẵn cho Ly rồi nhé, được chưa? Bây giờ ra ăn đồ ăn thôi ha, được chưa con? Đi kìa. Đấy, đi ăn đồ ăn.
That day, as Lily ate the meal her dad had cooked, her heart was filled with a sense of peace and happiness. The food tasted better than ever because she knew she had just done something truly great. She had helped the man she loved most in the world. The story begins with the image of Lily in a tidy house outfit, completely absorbed in her work. With a cloth in her hand, she diligently wiped the wooden floor over and over. Each of her movements was decisive and careful, showing an incredible industriousness. Occasionally, she would look at her dad, then return to her unfinished cleaning. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, her dad was preparing dinner. He was holding a large knife, carefully chopping sweet potatoes on a wooden cutting board. Lily stood nearby, curiously watching him work. But in a moment of distraction, the sharp knife accidentally cut his hand. He cried out in pain, his face contorting. Lily immediately froze. Her face showed clear shock and horror as she rushed to her dad's side, her eyes wide as she stared at the wound.
Ai da, đau quá Ly à. Trời ơi, không may thôi.
Lily remembered a time when she had a similar injury. Without a moment of panic, her head nurse instincts took over. She immediately turned and ran. The next image shows her quickly grabbing a white first aid kit from a shelf. Lily heaved the heavy kit over to her dad.
Ủa, cái gì Ly? Trời, biết mang ra luôn hả? Đây, mở lên coi. Đây.
She opened it. Inside were all the necessary medical supplies.
Trời ơi, biết luôn. Cái này là thuốc bôi nè, khử trùng nhá. Thấy chưa Ly? Thuốc này rồi để ba lấy nhá. Để ba lấy cho. Để ba lấy cái băng gạc nhá. Ba lấy băng gạc nhá. Đây ha. Lấy một cái băng gạc nhá.
Her tiny hands carefully took out a long roll of gauze. The camera focused on Lily's meticulous preparation of the supplies, showing a calmness and professionalism far beyond her years.
Đau lắm nha, đau lắm. Rồi không sao hết rồi.
After finishing the first aid for her dad, Lily's earlier composure gave way to tears. She cried for her dad's injury.
Không sao nhé. Yên lên nhé. Đi đi. Đây, ngồi đây.
After the temporary first aid, the work in the kitchen had to continue. Her dad, with his finger carefully bandaged, looked at head nurse Lily, who still had a worried look on her face. To reassure his little daughter, he smiled, gently patting her head and thinking up a special task. Her dad returned to cooking, and Lily became an able kitchen assistant. Lily helped her dad put all the cut sweet potatoes into a large basket, then helped him add water to the pot to cook them.
Đó, bỏ lại đây con, bỏ lại đây. Đây, thật được tay nhé, tay số 3 đấy, thấy chưa? Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi, đúng rồi, giỏi lắm, đúng rồi. Nó bỏ vào đây đi, bỏ vào đây đi con. Đây này, bỏ vào đây. Rồi, đúng rồi, đây nhé, bỏ xuống con. Đúng rồi, bỏ xuống đi con. Bỏ đi con. Đúng rồi, đây nữa. Đây nữa, đây nữa. Rồi, bỏ đi con. Rồi, giỏi lắm. Lily. Nè. Nè Lily. Qua đây Lily ơi, qua đây. Đây này Lily. Bỏ vào đồi này, bỏ đây này. Đúng rồi, đây nữa. Đây không? Đúng rồi, bỏ đây. Đúng rồi, đây nữa. Đây này. Đây. Đây này. Đây nữa không? Đây nữa. Giỏi. Đi nước đi con, đi nước đi. Mang vào đây. Đúng rồi, mang vào đây bỏ. Bỏ vô. Đây nha. Rồi, đi nữa ha. Đi đẩy đắp lại đi, đẩy đắp lại. Nước hả? Khát nước hả? Được chưa? Này, cầm lấy này. Rồi, vào đây con, vào đây. Trời. Rồi, Lily, đẩy vung lại con. Nè. Thôi chờ tí nhé. Để con lau nhà tí nhé. Không sao đi nhé, không sao đâu ha. Thôi rồi, đi ra đây nè. Ngồi đi ha. Nè, con lau thứ ba đi, lau đi. Con lau đây. Nè, lau thứ ba đi, đúng rồi. Lau đây này. Lau đây nữa. Đúng rồi kia. Wow. Rồi đi này. Trời, ngồi đây con, ngồi đây con. Ngồi đây nhé, được chưa? Để ba tí nhé. Thôi sát hết. Không sao đi nhé, không sao đâu ha. Thôi sát hết. Thôi con ngồi đây để bà lấy vai cho Lian nhé. Ngồi đây con. Đứng yên con.
When the sweet, rich aroma of sweet potatoes filled the kitchen, the dish was ready.
Rồi, đây nè. Đây nè. Để đi nhé, nóng lắm á. Đi nè. Ngồi yên thôi. Thôi có, sao đấy. Đây là
and the first person to taste the result was none other than sous chef Lily. Her dad picked up a hot piece of sweet potato, carefully blew on it to cool it down, and tenderly fed it to his daughter. The sweetness of the potato blended with the sweetness of their love, creating the most delicious dish in the world. The meal, prepared with worry, courage, and perfect teamwork, was finally complete.
Sao hả con? Sao hả? Không sao đâu Ly nhé. Hết rồi. Cái này hết rồi ha. Ba dán là khách hết rồi ha. Giỏi quá. Qua đây mà ôm nè. Qua đây. Đây. Đây, chào cô. Đây. Đây. Cái này. Giỏi lắm. Này, qua đây đây. Cảm ơn Ly nhé, bắt tay nè, giỏi, ở đây nè. Giỏi lắm, chào nè, chào. Bye. Chào. Bye.
The video opens with a familiar image of Lily's house, but one that also makes the viewer quite anxious. The dad returns home, perhaps tired after a session of gardening, but as soon as the door opens, his fatigue is immediately replaced by a profound shock. Before him is a horrifying scene. The usually pristine white tile floor is now splattered with dark, winding red streaks, stretching from the living room deep into the house. Anxiety quickly turns to panic when he realizes the little monkey, Lily, is nowhere to be seen. The swing where she usually sits and plays is now starkly empty. The dad's heart sinks. He dashes around like the wind, turning over every nook and cranny to search for her. He calls Lily's name in desperation, his voice cracking with fear. The bedroom, nothing. The bathroom, also nothing. In a moment of despair, he even checks inside the washing machine. Just as all hope seems lost, the dad's frantic gaze finally finds her. Lily is nestled soundly asleep, curled up like a small ball on the floor, tucked between two chairs in a hidden corner of the house. And then he sees the evidence beside her, a piece of red flesh dragon fruit.
Con làm đổ đây đúng không?
Through Lily's lens, the story is recounted with great innocence. While her dad was away, hunger pangs urged her to the refrigerator. Seeing the bright red dragon fruit, Lily decided to handle it herself. But the dragon fruit was both large and heavy, a complete mismatch for Lily's tiny arms. With her inherent clumsiness, while fumbling with her treasure, she slipped. With every step she took, the red dragon fruit pulp scattered onto the floor, creating a colorful crime scene. All his worries and fears vanish in an instant. He breathes a sigh of relief, as if a 1,000-pound weight has been lifted. The culprit behind the scary red stains was none other than his own clumsy little daughter. After having her fill, sleepiness began to set in. But today, Lily suddenly wanted a change of scenery, not wanting to sleep in her usual spots. She decided to choose a new space, a cozy and hidden corner of the house, to fall into a deep sleep.
Áo bẩn hết rồi nè.
After
Mình tắm nhé.
understanding the full story,
Bà đi
the
tắm
dad
nhé.
doesn't utter a
Đi,
single
tắm đi
word of scolding. Instead, he looks at Lily with an affectionate gaze and a relieved smile. Love had triumphed over the mess. He decides to clean up the aftermath with his little daughter.
Hay sao? Mình lau xong đi tắm nhé. Đi, lên ba chở lên thăm nhé.
The two of them, one big and one small, roll up their sleeves and get to work.
Người bẩn không? Sợ chưa? Ly cũng sợ đúng không? Tao cũng sợ chứ. Nè. Đó, con lau của con đi nhá. Đây.
Lily, after causing the mistake, appears incredibly enthusiastic and responsible. She demonstrates very professional cleaning skills. She uses her whole body to press down on the cloth, using all her might to wipe away every stain, determined to restore the floor's shiny cleanliness. Watching this, the dad can't help but chuckle at his daughter's adorable seriousness. After the floor is clean, the grooming session begins.
Bây giờ bà lấy áo mới cho con nhá. Này, áo sạch nè, thấy không? Rồi, con cầm lấy. Để bà lau tay cho con nhá. Đây nhá. Đúng rồi.
The dad gently uses a damp cloth to wipe away the dragon fruit stains still lingering on Lily's face, tiny hands, and feet.
Đây nữa. Rồi.
Finally, she is dressed in a brand new, fragrant set of clothes, officially closing the chapter on her adventure with the dragon fruit.
Thích nha, thích nha. Màu xanh đẹp nha. Đúng rồi, nhấc tay ra nhé. Đúng rồi. Bà đưa tay ly vô rồi, bà đi đẩy tay ra chưa? Đó, đi đẩy tay ra đi, đẩy tay này ra đi. Này. Đó, thấy không? Thấy không?
Early morning sunlight filtered through the window, where little Lily sat perfectly still. Usually full of mischief, Lily was now the picture of focus as a student preparing for a life-changing exam. Her eyes were glued to the paper, and her tiny hands moved with a care. The quiet atmosphere was only broken by the sound of her father's footsteps.
Hay đi ra đi chơi không? Chơi không? Chơi không? Đi đào khoai không? Đi đào khoai về làm khoai chiên nhé.
With a warm, gentle voice, he asked if she wanted to go to the garden to harvest sweet potatoes. Instantly, Lily's eyes lit up with excitement. Without needing a second word, she jumped up to get her work gear ready. A cute straw hat perched on her head.
Giỏi quá, ra đây bà chỉ nữa. Thế nào? Đây. Sai ơi. Đây đúng rồi, giỏi lắm rồi, lên xe nào.
Tidy clothes, and her trusty little blue wagon in tow. Seeing this mini farmer scampering around with her tools brought a smile to everyone's face.
Qua đây Linh. Mang đây Linh ơi, kéo vào đây. Đây mình đào ở đây thử nhá. Được không? Ở đây thử nhá.
Out in the garden, Lily didn't mind the dirt at all.
Lily, con lấy cái xẻng kia kìa, cái xẻng kìa. Đúng rồi, mang đây. Con đào đi, xúc đi, xúc đây này. Đây. Đây qua đây Linh, xúc đi. Đây qua đây. Đây, xúc đi. Đây. Đây.
Under her father's patient guidance, she gripped her small blue shovel
Cầm chặt vào.
and took her first scoops into the soft brown earth.
Cái nào đi, xúc đi. Xúc đi.
Labor is glory, and for Lily, it was also a game of discovery.
Nè. Mình đào dưới sâu rồi, có khoai nhé Linh nhá. Thấy chưa? Cầm lên này. Đứng lên. Cầm đứng lên, đúng rồi.
After some
Hey.
focused digging, a soft "oh"
Ah,
escaped
idea.
her lips as the first deep purple sweet potatoes appeared.
Cầm lên này.
Lily's face beamed with
Bỏ
pride.
xuống xe kìa. Này, cầm lên này. Đấy, bỏ xe đi. Bỏ xe đi con.
The little monkey girl, who usually loved to play, was now a hard worker. She carefully picked up each potato and tucked them into her wagon as if they were precious treasures.
Rồi qua đây. Kia đi nè. Đúng rồi. Cầm đấy. Con cầm đấy, bỏ lên xe đi. Cầm bỏ lên xe đi. Qua đây bới tiếp đi. Qua đây ngồi, qua đây này. Đúng rồi, bới đi. Giỏi quá, đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi, bỏ lên xe đi. Bỏ lên xe. Giỏi quá.
Before long, the blue basket was overflowing with plump potatoes, promising a delicious meal.
Mày vợ chồng lại nhé. Thôi đi về Ly ơi, đi. Thôi được rồi Ly ơi, đi về thôi. Này, mũ này. Rồi kéo xe đi về thôi con. Đi, về làm
Once
bánh
the
đi.
harvest was over, Lily eagerly pulled her heavy wagon back
Đây,
home.
này, đi này. Nó bỏ cái này vào đổ đi. Để lấy bột nhé.
In the small kitchen, she transformed into a mini assistant.
Okay.
Sao ở đây là cầm thế đây nào. Đây đây ngồi con. Đây này. Đây ngồi đây nhé. Qua đây rửa này, qua đây rửa khoai này.
She helped her father wash away every bit of dirt under the cool running water.
Rồi ngồi đi con. Cứ ngồi đây. Cái mũ cái bàn, cái mũ này. Đi bỏ này vào nồi đi. Này cầm đây này, bỏ đây này. Đó,
Lily
rồi,
showed
đây, đây,
how
đây,
thoughtful she was by carefully placing each pre-cut slice of potato into the pot and filling it with water herself. Every move she made was filled with a sense of responsibility and love for her family.
Đây. Bỏ nồi đi con, bỏ nồi đi. Cái bỏ nồi đi con. Đúng rồi. Đây nữa con. Đây nữa. Rồi, đây nữa đi. Đúng rồi, bỏ nồi đi con. Đây đi Linh. Bỏ nồi đi con. Rồi, đây nữa đi. Bỏ nồi đi con. Đây. Bỏ nồi đi. Rồi. Rồi đấy ha. Này nước này. Đúng rồi, đi nước đổ kia đi. Đổ nồi đi con. Đổ xuống. Đất. Đây. Rồi, đây mày bỏ nồi này, cầm đây. Đó, thấy không? Thấy lắm rồi. Đó, thấy không? Thêm nước nha, ít quá. Đó, nè, cầm đi, đổ cái đi. Đó, đây này, đổ lên này, đây, đứng lên, đứng lên. Đó, đổ xuống đây này. Rồi. Tí nữa chuẩn bị nha. Rồi. Rồi vào đây nè. Vào đây dọn dẹp này nhé, được không? Dọn dẹp này xíu là bà cắt cho liam nhé. Đây, đến đây con. Đây bị lau này được lấy file nhé. Này cắt lên cho ba này. Đúng rồi.
Finally, the moment they had been waiting for arrived. As the pot opened, a cloud of steam carried the sweet, gentle aroma of cooked potatoes throughout the room.
Nhất, đúng không? Rồi. Té kiểu. Nóng lắm, nghe chưa? Nóng lắm nghe chưa? Rồi chờ tí cho nó nguội nhá.
Her father tenderly cut the potatoes into bite-sized pieces for her.
Nóng đấy, là tí nhé. Cắt cho nó nhanh nguội nha. Đúng rồi. Từ từ thôi, từ từ thôi, từ từ thôi.
Lily took a golden piece and enjoyed it with a look of pure bliss. That sweetness didn't just come from the potatoes, it came from their hard work and the warm bond they shared all morning.
Đúng rồi. Ngon quá.
One day, the little house felt unusually quiet because her father had to go out. For Lily, this was a golden opportunity to carry out a grand plan. She was going to cook a surprise for him. As soon as her father was out of sight, Lily put on her straw hat, slung a small bag over her shoulder, and stepped out with the confidence of a professional housewife. A little while later, she returned home triumphant, her basket filled with small cakes she had bought. Like an expert, she quickly lined them up inside the oven. While waiting for the delicious smell to fill the air, Lily wandered into the living room and turned on the TV. The colorful shows quickly captured her mind, making her completely forget the treasure in the oven. It wasn't until a pungent, burnt smell wafted through the house that Lily snapped out of it and rushed into the kitchen. But alas, the once golden cakes were now charred black and bitter. She tried a tiny bite but couldn't swallow it. Sadly tossing them all into the trash with a heavy heart. However, Lily wasn't one to give up easily. I have to try again. I want to surprise Dad, she thought. Once again, she set off. And this time, her secret weapon was a bag of snow white flour. Lily began her new battle with total enthusiasm. At first, she tried putting the ingredients into a bowl properly. But her playful nature soon turned the cooking session into a flower festival.
Uh-oh. Yummy.
Lily kneaded, tossed, and played with the dough as if it were the most fun toy in the world. Soon, the kitchen looked like it had been hit by a snowstorm. White powder was scattered across the table, covering the floor and dusted all over Lily's messy face and cute clothes. She was lost in the moment, a pure joy of a child wanting to give her best for the person she loved.
Uh-oh.
The door opened and her father returned. He didn't find the cozy feast Lily had imagined. Instead, he was met with the lingering smell of smoke and the aftermath of a flower war. He gasped in shock and began looking for the culprit.
Lily! Lily làm bánh gì trời? Lily! Lily ơi! Lily! Lily! Lily ơi! Đi đâu rồi? Lily! 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 Lily!
Behind the curtain, he found Lily standing perfectly still, her round eyes looking at him with deep guilt.
Sao? Con làm gì ở trên kia vậy hả? Đi làm gì ở trên kia? Sao làm bánh trên kia vậy? Hả?
She was frozen in place, her tiny hands covered in white powder. Seeing her face caked in white and her pitiful expression, the father's anger instantly vanished, replaced by a mix of amusement and tenderness.
Đâu vào tay xem nào? Xem nào? Ý, này thấy bột này, thấy chưa? Nè. Thấy không? Con làm bánh là cái gì? Đây này cho mọi người xem này. Này mọi người xem này. Lily ở nhà quậy này. Đi làm tí mà Lily ở nhà quậy này, thấy chưa? Không được làm thế nhé. Không sao nhé. Cái mũi ba nào. cái túi cho ba nào. Chân bẩn hả? Ui sao đâu, ba xem chân nào. Ui trời ơi, chân đây hả? Ôi trời ơi, chân gì mà toàn bột thế này. Ghê quá. Nào thôi bế, ba bế nào, qua đây. Trời ơi. Nào đưa cái túi đi cho ba nào, cái túi đây. Ôi trời. Thôi mình đi làm bánh nhá, rửa sạch cái chân này đi làm bánh nhá. Này. Ghê quá. Nào đi làm bánh nha. Nha.
He gently picked Lily up to give her a bath. As the cool water washed away the flour, he felt the sweetness of her innocent love.
Này bây giờ mình dọn này nhá. Tôi cầm lên ba dọn này. Mình cầm lên ba dọn nhá.
To help her learn about responsibility, her father guided her through the cleanup.
Mình lấy bột mới nhá.
She worked just as seriously as she had when she started, but this time it was to take care of her home. When everything was back in its place and the kitchen was tidy again, he rewarded her with a carton of fresh milk.
Đây, cẩn thận đấy. Đúng rồi, ui Ly giỏi quá. Ly giỏi quá nhỉ.
Drink slowly, honey, don't choke, he whispered. His warm words made Lily feel more at peace than ever.
Trời, uống gì nữa rồi Ly? Uống gì nữa này? Để lấy khăn nhé. Uống chậm thôi. Đúng rồi, cẩn thận thôi. Lấy cái này. Đúng mình đi mà, ai uống qua đâu nhá. Chậm thôi nhá. Đúng rồi. Đấy, giờ hết quần thấy không? Nè. Đâu xem này. Hết chưa? Hết chưa? Chu cha. Giỏi ha. Wow. Đấy, cũng hết rồi nhá, hết bỏ kia kìa. Hết rồi bỏ kia coi. Bỏ vô.
Lily obediently threw the milk carton away.
Đấy, bỏ vô đi. Đó, đúng rồi. Này, lau đi con. Đây. Lau đi, đúng rồi, lau đi. Lau ghế kìa.
And used a paper towel to carefully wipe every spot on the table and chairs.
Đây này. Đúng rồi, lau đi, lau sạch đi con. Đấy. Lau sạch cái sữa đổ đi nha. Đấy. Đây này. Đúng rồi. Bỏ thùng rác đi con.
When everything was back in its place and the kitchen was tidy again, Lily curled up on her soft yellow pillow with a belly full of milk and a heart lightened after a day of accidents.
One beautiful morning, the house was quiet and cozy. Lily was lounging on the sofa, eyes glued to her favorite TV show. But amidst those relaxing moments, a thought popped into her head. Dad must be working so hard right now, she told herself. Her love for her dad urged her to do something special for him. No sooner thought than done. Lily scurried into the kitchen. Luckily, there was a basket of fresh vegetables Dad had just bought on the table. Looking like a true pro, Lily started prepping. Her small but skillful hands picked up the green beans, snapped them neatly, and removed the strings, just as well as any adult. Once done, she carefully put everything into the pot. Added just enough water and turned on the stove. Lily stood there patiently, her eyes sparkling as she watched the steam rise. A few minutes later, the gentle aroma of boiled veggies filled the air. Lily scooped them into her familiar little basket and toddled out to the garden.
Dad.
Seeing his little girl approaching, Dad paused his work, looking surprised. Lily happily held out the basket, showing off her hard work. He took the food and carefully checked each piece. He nodded in satisfaction. Ah, it's perfectly cooked. That sentence was the best reward for Chef Lily. She knew exactly when the veggies were ready, a sign of maturity that would warm anyone's heart. As they ate in the garden, an uninvited guest appeared. It was Bebe, the little goat. Smelling the food, Bebe trotted over. Instead of chasing him away, Lily happily shared her portion. Under the cool shade of the trees, the three of them, Dad, Lily, and Bebe, enjoyed the simple vegetable meal together. The story begins on a day Lily was home alone. Like a pro basketball player, Lily made perfect shots into the hoop, making anyone watching amazed. After running a few laps around the house and scoring some spectacular points, Lily started to feel tired. She climbed onto her comfy beanbag chair to rest and recharge. Just then, Dad came home from work. In his hands was a wonderful gift for his little girl. Fresh, delicious pears. However, after her intense workout, Dad noticed his athlete was dripping with sweat and starting to smell a bit
Thức
stinky.
ép này, bây giờ ba mua cho Ly này, làm thức ép cho Ly uống nhé, được không? Ở đây nhá. Cắt này đi, cắt để lát nữa này ba mà. Đi, cái này này.
So Dad decided to whisk Lily off for a bath immediately.
A few moments later.
Rồi, chờ tí nhá. Đây. Cho đây đi con.
After a good scrub,
Đúng rồi đấy.
Lily returned looking fresh, clean, and wearing a super cute pink outfit.
Đây một sắp mùa đông rồi nhá, mặc cho nó ấm nhá. Đó. Quần này. Mùa đông lạnh. Thùng thẳng thỉnh nhỉ. À, cái này. Chắc đâu rồi. Đứng qua xe nào, đứng qua xe nào.
Now that she was squeaky clean, Dad asked Lily to help make juice.
Ok. Ôm nào, ôm nào. Đúng rồi. Thôi đi pha nước uống nhé. Đi làm nước uống nhé. Ha. Đi làm nước uống nhé. Đi. Đi lên làm nước uống nào. Vào đây làm cái ly nước uống nhé.
Lily proved to be a great assistant.
Cắt lau này các bạn ạ. Giỏi lát về ba. Đây. Rồi con bỏ kia đi.
While Dad peeled the pears, Lily quickly picked up the peels and tidied them into the trash bin neatly.
Bỏ cái đổ đi. Rồi con bỏ kia luôn đi. Bỏ đi con. Bỏ luôn. Giỏi lắm. Đây là ly miếng này. Đấy. Rồi cái này bỏ đây nhé. Rồi con bỏ đi. À đúng rồi. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Bỏ kia. Lau đi con. Lau đi. Lau. Lau. Đúng rồi. Rồi đi giỏi lắm. Rồi mình bắt đầu nhé. Rồi đi qua đây. Đây đứng xuống, đứng. Đây. Đấy, đúng rồi, biết làm gì chưa? Biết làm gì chưa?
When it was time to juice, Lily personally picked up the pear slices Dad had cut and put them into the slow juicer.
Bỏ tiếp lên đi con.
She worked carefully and skillfully,
Chưa được đâu.
just
Nữa
like an
đi. Cái này nữa
adult.
đi. Một cái nữa thôi. Một cái đấy nữa thôi. Rồi. Này. Ăn út này. Đây bên đây này, bên đây này. Đây này. Ra cái đi này. Đó.
Her eyes watched intently as the cool juice flowed into the pitcher, her face full of excitement, waiting for the result.
Rồi bỏ nữa đi. Bỏ thêm nữa đi. Nữa. Nữa đi. Nữa đi con, nữa đi. Rồi nữa đi. Rồi cái này để bác cắt cho Ly ăn nhé. Này bác cắt bỏ miếng cho Ly nhé. Cho an toàn lắm đi nhỉ. Rồi. Đi, giờ con lên mình làm cái này nhé.
To reward Lily's hard work, Dad cut a separate plate of fresh pears just for her.
Đi bỏ bên kia nhé. Đấy, tôi bỏ đây đi. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Đây nữa. Bỏ đi con. Đây nữa. Bỏ đây con.
The little party began. Lily confidently used a fork to eat the fruit, enjoying every bite.
Ăn đi, vào lấy nước cho. Ăn đi. Con ăn xong đi nhé, ăn đi. Đúng rồi. Ăn xong đi rồi bà lấy cho. Đúng rồi đấy. Đi ăn xong đi, bà lấy nước cho Ly nhé. Con ăn đi. Uống nước trước hả? Rồi, đến vào đây.
Finally came the most awaited moment, tasting the juice. Lily took a long sip through the straw, her face lighting up with delight, and she didn't forget to exclaim, "Yummy," to thank Dad.
Ôi, ngon ha. Ngon quá Ly ha. Đấy. Đã nhỉ.
It was a happy day for Lily, going from energetic exercise to warm, sweet moments with Dad and delicious treats. Morning sunlight gently filtered into the living room, shining on the bed where Lily was relaxing. The little monkey had just woken up, her eyes still a bit dreamy, enjoying the quiet peace of the early morning. A moment later, Dad walked in,
Dad.
bringing the cool breeze and the scent of the garden with him.
Dad.
Ngủ dậy đi.
Seeing his little girl was awake, Dad walked over, his voice warm and caring.
Dậy à?
Did you sleep well, Lily? Have you been up long?
Ngồi chơi nhé. Nhà có buồn không? Ngủ buồn không? Nhà có buồn không? Thế xem nào. Sửa. Lily, lấy ghế. Lấy ghế cũng được, lên ngủ ha. Để xem tay đi.
After asking how she was, Dad rubbed his belly and sighed. Wow, Dad is so hungry, Lily. You'd think Lily would just stare blankly, but no, she seemed to understand everything. Lily got to work immediately. She waddled off and came back with a treasure in her hand, a pack of instant beef pho, holding it up proudly to show Dad.
Nấu mì ăn ha. Nấu mì ăn ha.
Dad smiled and decided to let Lily be his sous chef.
Đấy. Thơm đúng nhỉ? Con bỏ này qua kia cho bà nhé, để bà nấu nước. Làm mì nhé. Nè, mì đây này. Đây là phở, đúng rồi. Nè, phở này, vào đây là gì này, thấy không? Đây là muối. Là vịt.
Can you open this, Lily? Dad handed her the tiny seasoning packet.
Bóc cái này vào đây. Nè, bóc này.
Lily's small hands worked quickly to take it. Dad watched her work with joy, constantly praising his daughter's smarts and helpfulness.
Đây là phở bò, đây nước cốt nha. Rồi bây giờ bà làm cái ly nhá. Bà làm ly đồ ăn cái ly nhá, đi ngồi đó, đi ngồi đó. Đây. Bà cho đi cái bánh nha. Bỏ đây con, bỏ đây. À đúng rồi, đấy. Cái bánh đẹp nhỉ. Nè. Tí nữa ăn nha, tí nữa ăn nha.
Once the water was boiling, everything was ready. The water is very hot. Sit down carefully, Lily, Dad gently reminded her as they sat at the table. In front of Lily now was a steaming bowl of beef pho and a plate of fragrant buns. Without waiting, Lily started enjoying her achievement.
Bánh bao.
Watching her eat deliciously, her eyes lighting up with pleasure as she tasted the soft bun and the savoury broth. Dad felt the meal tasted twice as good.
Ngon ly.
Is it yummy, Lily? Eat up! Dad's encouraging words mixed with the happy chewing sounds of Lily created a space filled with love.
Ngon quá hả?
That breakfast wasn't just about pho and buns. It was full of the flavour of simple happiness between Dad and daughter.
When suddenly she felt a cold chill on her side. She woke up with a start, her round eyes wide with confusion as she looked down at the bedsheet. Oh no, it's soaking wet!
Đi đáy đấy hả? Dọn đi nha.
Panicking a little, Lily frowned and tilted her small head, wondering, I definitely didn't have an accident, so why is the bed so wet? Suddenly, drip! A cold drop of water landed right on the tip of Lily's nose. She looked up at the ceiling. Ah, that was it. The rain was so heavy that the roof had started to leak. Raindrops were racing down to parachute right onto Lily's beloved bed. If this kept up, her cozy sleeping spot would turn into a swimming pool in no time. Without hesitating, Lily rushed to get her green towel and brought it to the bed. Her small hand scrubbed back and forth, trying desperately to dry the wet spot. But strangely, the water kept falling from above. The more she wiped, the more the water spread. In a flash, Lily's eyes lit up. She remembered a secret weapon. She jumped off the bed. pulled out a small yellow umbrella,
Beep, beep.
and popped it open. She held the umbrella right over the leak.
Oh,
But after a moment, Lily realized a problem. Holding the umbrella like this makes my arm tired, and the water just runs off onto the floor anyway. She needed a better plan. Lily looked around, calculating, then sprinted out of the room. She trotted straight to the kitchen. Standing on her tiptoes, she rummaged through the lower cabinets. Clatter, clatter. Aha! Lily dragged out a bright red plastic basin. Using both hands, she carried the basin back to the bedroom, climbed onto the bed, and carefully lined it up. She placed the basin right where the water was falling. Plip, plop. The sound of water hitting the basin sounded much more fun than the thudding on the mattress. Lily sighed with relief. When she was done, Lily sat with her arms crossed next to her masterpiece, looking proud like a guard who had just completed an important mission. Just then, the door clicked. Dad was home. Hearing the noise, Lily jumped off the bed and ran out.
Làm gì đấy, làm đi. Đây nè, đây nè. Trời ướt hết nè. Mưa quá đi, ha. Trời mưa quá ướt hết nè.
Seeing Dad sitting there, she quickly tugged on his shirt, signaling for him to come to the bedroom immediately.
Đâu, đâu. Cái này đâu đấy? Đâu, để ba xem gì đây?
Walking into the room, Dad was stunned by the scene. In the middle of the bed sat a red basin, catching the leak perfectly. Instead of being annoyed by the mess, Dad was overcome with surprise and exclaimed excitedly, "Oh my gosh, Lily, how are you so smart? You knew to run to the kitchen and get a basin so the bed wouldn't get wet?" Hearing the praise, Lily was over the moon. She trotted after Dad, busily helping him gather the damp sheets to take to the laundry. Thanks to Lily's quick thinking, the thick mattress was saved just in time.
Mày cái ly không? Tưởng ly thấy trầm chưa? Giờ đặt cái này đi nhé. Đặt tại sau nằm nhé, thấy chưa? Đặt cái ly nhé. Đây. Rồi, đặt cái ly ha. Đó này. Đó, rồi. Đi đây.
To reward this huge achievement, Dad took Lily to the fridge.
Rồi, đi cùng nhé. Đây là đi đây. Đây, mở tủ lấy đồ ăn này.
A familiar scent wafted out. Bananas?
Bây giờ có ly đi, đi ra ghế ngồi nhá, và cắt cái đĩa cho ly ăn. Ra ghế ngồi đi. Ra ghế ngồi đi các bạn. Đúng rồi, ghế ngồi đi. Đi nhá. Kéo ghế ngồi đi con, kéo ghế ngồi đi. Ly chờ ba tí nhé, xong rồi. Cắt cho ly ăn nhé.
Lily sat politely at the table, her eyes sparkling with happiness as she watched each slice of banana being cut.
Đây, ly đây.
She picked up a piece and ate it deliciously.
Đây là trước ly mày kẹt đúng không? Đây là người bị rột phải không? Nhầm ly đúng không? Đây là nhầm ly này hả? Giỏi quá, về đây ạ. Đúng rồi. Giỏi lắm. Ngon quá ha. Chuối này ngon quá ha. Đi giỏi lắm.
Turns out a stormy day isn't so bad after all, especially when you are a smart and clever monkey like Lily.
Ngon nhỉ. Ngồi nhá, lấy ly nhá. Nè, cho thêm ly nè. Đây, bà cho thêm nhá. Đây. Đúng rồi, giỏi lắm. Đi ngoài là bà cho thêm nhá. Chẳng hả? Chú chín ngon lắm mà. Nó ngọt nhỉ.
In a small house as night wrapped its arms around everything, the only light left was the pale blue glow from a computer screen. Lily's dad was still buried in work, his hands typing away without rest. Lily, a little monkey with bright, sparkling eyes, sat quietly beside him. She didn't cry or fuss, she just focused on watching videos on her dad's phone, occasionally looking up at his tired, thin back. Sometimes, when she saw how focused he was, Lily would walk over and gently tug on his sleeve, wanting him to take a break and play.
Con nghỉ đi cho ba làm ha. Con xem này đấy nhá. Tắt đi nhá. Về này nhá. Để đi ngủ chưa? Ba làm về một xíu nhá. Ngoan nhá. Bây giờ con ra lấy gối của mình đi ngủ nhá. Đó. Đúng rồi. Rồi, để đây thôi ha. Rồi con nằm đây. Nằm đây. Nằm xuống. Đúng rồi. Đó. Làm đi ngủ nhá, thấy chưa? Ba làm xíu được ngủ với Ly nhé.
But seeing the exhaustion written all over his face, she seemed to understand the situation better than anyone.
Nằm đấy. Để tay đây cho nó dễ ngủ nha. Ba làm xíu được ngủ với Ly nhé. Nha.
Dad.
Gì Ly? Không buồn ngủ à? Hả? Thôi đi ngủ đi nhé, làm việc xíu nhé. Cái hôm khuya ha. Thôi lại nằm đi, Kia kìa. Đúng rồi, cái nằm xuống. Đây. Thấy chưa? Ngủ ngoan nhá, thấy chưa? Đi ngoan đi chưa? Ngủ ngoan nhá. Mai nấu gì cho Ly ăn nhá. Được chưa? Nha. Ngủ ngoan nha. Nha.
Dad.
After her dad comforted her and tucked her into bed, she obediently lay down. He then returned to his numbers and drafts until the middle of the night. Only when the stars began to fade did the two of them finally get a short rest, curling up together in their warm bed to close out a long, hard day. Early the next morning, as the first sunbeams crept through the cracks in the door, Lily was already awake. Seeing her dad still deep in sleep after an all-nighter, she quietly crawled out of bed. Instead of whining for milk or play, she walked on tiptoe, careful not to disturb his rest. Lily went into the bathroom, acting with a sense of responsibility that would amaze anyone. With her tiny but nimble hands, she turned on the tap, carefully washed her face, and brushed her teeth in front of the mirror. The image of the little monkey taking care of herself like a mature child was a true testament to the love and guidance her dad had given her. But the surprises didn't stop there. Lily headed into the kitchen. She began tidying up the mess, wanting to lighten her dad's load. With a plan to prepare a special breakfast, she carefully brought some eggs into the kitchen. She set up a pot, added water, and began boiling the eggs with total seriousness.
Oh! Dad!
Dậy sớm đi.
When Dad woke up, the first thing he saw was Lily sitting neatly in front of the laptop, mimicking his work pose from the night before. But as soon as she saw him, she ran excitedly into the kitchen.
Dad!
Con làm gì đó vậy? Đưa ba xem nào.
Following behind her, the dad stood frozen in surprise. The stove was warm and the little chef's pot of boiled eggs was steaming.
Ôi trời ơi.
He rushed to help her with the final steps to make sure she didn't get burned, his heart swelling with an indescribable emotion.
Bây giờ lấy ly trứng cho đi ăn nhá. Nha con nha. Này mình phải bỏ nước sạch nè. Xong bắt đầu mình bỏ trứng vào đây nhé. Bây giờ mình lấy nước sạch trước này. Đó. Nhiều lên một xíu nha. Mình bỏ vào đây. Này. Sau Mình vớt trứng vô nhé. Mình vớt trứng vô này. Này, thấy không? Thấy không? Nè, thấy không? Trời. Đây nữa này.
That breakfast was just simple boiled eggs, but to the dad, it was the grandest feast in the
Qua
world.
đây. Chu cha. Nè, thấy không? Nóng lắm, nóng lắm, nóng lắm. À, Ly con lấy đĩa đi, lấy đĩa. Lấy cái đĩa đi. Mang vào đây. Rồi, bỏ xuống nào. Đây cho. Ngồi đây. Xem nhá. Ui trời, nóng lắm, nóng lắm. Nóng lắm.
They sat across from each other at the small table. Lily peeled the eggs herself,
Bóc thử không?
glancing at her dad now and then
thử
with a
không?
mischievous
Nè,
smile.
bóc đi. Nè, nè. Đúng rồi đấy, đúng rồi. Đúng rồi đấy. Đấy. Đó. Bóc đi, bóc đi. Đây nè. Đấy, thấy chưa? Thấy không? Nóng quá nhỉ? Giờ bóc cho Ly nha. Bóc một quả ha. Nóng quá. Quả thế nhỉ? Còn quả này nữa ha. Bóc luôn nhé. Này. Đi nào. Đi nào bóc cho Ly ăn nhé. Đi, đi xuống đi. Đây, đứng lên nào. Đi ra đấy nào. Từ từ, nóng đấy. Từ từ. Nóng đấy. Không vội đâu. Nóng đấy Ly.
In the peaceful morning air, their laughter and affection created a beautiful picture of love.
Đây của Ly đây. Đây với Ly thử nhé. Này. Ngon quá hả Ly? Ừ? Ngon quá hả? Đây cho Ly miếng này. Ngon nào? Được không Ly? Được rồi, hết rồi Ly. À, hết rồi. Ly giỏi quá nha. Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Sáng dậy biết nấu đồ ăn sáng rồi ha. Cứ vậy phát huy nhé Ly Ly. Nè. Ngon không? Alo. Dạ em nghe xem.
Cậu Quang à,
Dạ rồi.
công việc dạo này sa sút quá đấy. Tôi đã cho cậu rất nhiều cơ hội rồi. Lần trước là một cuộc họp quan trọng, vậy mà cậu vắng mặt.
Dạ em biết rồi sếp. Dạ sự cố ngoài mong muốn sếp ơi. Sếp thông cảm cho em nhé.
Cậu muốn công ty dẹp tiệm luôn à?
Dạ dạ em cũng không muốn như thế đâu.
Then, a major crisis hit. The dad was fired.
Không không.
Through a phone call, it was clear his boss was yelling at him. The reason given was a lack of focus and, more seriously, missing an important meeting. Despite his attempts to explain, the boss was firm. When the call ended, the dad sat there, his face clouded with deep disappointment and sadness. Little Lily tilted her head, sensing the gray cloud hanging over her dad. A tiny seed
it
of
my
worry
fault?
sprouted in her heart. Dad, she asked timidly, is it my fault?
Because of me, Dad lost his job.
She wondered if it was because of the times she wasn't good, or because she asked for snacks.
So no more milk, no more fruit.
Then her worry turned into a more practical question. So, will we run out of milk and fruit? Seeing her dad lost in his own sadness, Lily's heart tightened. She didn't care about fruit or milk anymore. She ran to his side and wrapped her tiny arms around him. I don't need milk, she whispered, and I don't need fruit. Please don't be sad anymore, Dad.
Is it my fault? I don't need milk. I don't need fruit anymore. Don't be sad, Dad.
A flash of surprise crossed his tired face. He stroked her hair and whispered a soft thank you. But the gray cloud didn't seem to leave just yet.
Nào nhé. Đi giỏi quá ha. Làm sao ha. Đi ngoan ha. Đi làm gì đây? Hả? Bạn có việc tí nha.
He told Lily he needed to step out for a moment and that she should play at home.
Đi nằm ngoan đấy nha.
But instead of leaving, he just went to the living room and slumped into an armchair.
Dad doesn't seem well. I can't leave him alone.
Lily watched him from a distance. Dad isn't okay, she told herself. She couldn't leave him like that. A small spark of determination flared up. I have to do something. Dad looked cold. An idea struck her. She scurried into the bedroom. And struggled to drag her small blanket out. It was a bit heavy for her, but she managed to get it to the living room and carefully covered him, hoping the warmth would make him feel better. Dad was startled, surprised to see his little girl and her blanket. His eyes softened. "Thank you, sweetheart," he said, but then gently added, "Go play in your room, Lily. Dad needs a little peace and quiet."
Ta làm xong việc là ba chơi ly ha. Được không? Hả? Hả? Ok nhé. 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 Thôi. Ta ha. Rồi đi con chơi nhé. Lily ra đi chơi nhé. Ba mời cái mền tí để bạn nằm nhé. Ha. Lily ra đi chơi nhé. Đi con. Đi chơi không?
But Lily couldn't rest. She saw that he still wasn't feeling better. Maybe food will help. She ran back to the kitchen. In the fridge, there was only one carton of milk left, her very last one. Lily's stomach was growling, but the image of her tired dad immediately came to mind. No, she decided firmly. Dad needs it more than I do. She solemnly held the milk with both hands and brought it to him. Drink this, Dad.
Lily. Gì đây?
He looked at the milk, then at his precious daughter. I'm not hungry, he said, shaking his
Đi
head.
ba hả? Cảm ơn Ly nhé. Ba không sao nhé. Lily sẽ uống đi ha. Được không?
But Lily wouldn't back down.
Yeah.
She pushed the milk into his
Không
hands.
cho ba đâu nhé. Con đói con uống nhé. Được chưa? Qua đây con. Và lấy sữa cho Ly uống nhé.
Finally, he took it, but he didn't drink it. Instead, he put the straw in and handed it back to her. Thank you for sharing with me, he said, his voice much more tender. But you drink it. Lily happily accepted.
Từ từ thôi ha.
As she sipped the milk, she felt her dad's loving gaze on her. The gray cloud seemed to thin out a little. He didn't say it out loud, but he was incredibly proud of his little girl. Even though she was small, Lily always knew how to care for those around her with the warmest
Cẩn
heart.
thận nhé. Đúng rồi đấy. Hết rồi hả? Hết rồi hả? Cái này bỏng rát cái đi nhé. Mai có gì rồi? Ăn bỏng rát con. Xong rồi hả con? Thôi đi ngủ nhé. Được không?